Electric eels, Electrophorus, electricus, are fascinating creatures found in the freshwater rivers and streams of the Amazon and Orinoco basins in South America. Despite their name, electric eels are not actually true eels. They are a type of knifefish, more closely related to catfish. Physical characteristics. Electric eels can grow up to 8 feet long and weigh up to 44 pounds. Their body is long and cylindrical, covered in smooth, dark skin. They have a slightly flattened head, and their mouths are located at the front of their body. Electrical abilities. Electric eels are famous for their ability to generate electric shocks, which they use for hunting, navigation, and defense. Their body contains specialized cells called electrocytes that can generate electrical charges. These cells are grouped into 3 organs: the main organ, Hunter's organ, and Sachs organ. Together, they can produce electrical discharges of up to 600 volts. High-voltage shocks up to 600 volts are used to stun or kill prey, and for low-voltage discharges are used for navigation and communication with other electric eels. Hunting tactics. Electric eels are carnivorous and use their electrical discharges to stun prey like fish, amphibians, and small invertebrates. They hunt by discharging a series of low-voltage pulses to detect the position of their prey through a process known as electrolocation. Similar to echolocation in bats, once the prey is immobilized, the eel delivers a high-voltage shock to incapacitate or kill it. Behavior and habitat. Electric eels are solitary creatures that prefer slow-moving waters, often hiding in muddy or vegetated riverbeds during the day. They are primarily nocturnal hunters. Their electric discharges are also used for communication, especially during mating rituals. Reproduction. During the breeding season, males build a nest from saliva and debris where they attract females. After mating, the female lays eggs in the nest, and the male guards them until they hatch. Conservation. Although electric eels are not currently endangered, their habitat faces threats from deforestation, pollution, and climate change. Their populations are not well documented, making it harder to assess their conservation status accurately. Cultural significance. Electric eels have fascinated people for centuries. They were once believed to have mystical powers, and indigenous tribes in South America have legends involving electric eels. In modern times, the electric eel continues to be a subject of scientific study, inspiring innovations in bioelectricity and robotics. Sure, here's even more about the electric eel. Electrocytes and their mechanism. Electric eels can generate electric charges because of specialized cells called electrocytes. Each electrocyte acts like a tiny battery. When the electric eel commands these cells, they all discharge simultaneously in a chain reaction, generating an electrical current. The electrocytes are stacked like coins within the eel's electric organs, amplifying the voltage. Main organ. This is the largest of the electric organs and produces the highest voltage shocks. It is responsible for stunning prey or defending itself. Hunter's organ. Positioned behind the main organ, it contributes to the eel's ability to produce high-voltage discharges. Sachs organ. This part of the electric organ produces lower voltage pulses, primarily used for navigation and electrolocation. When the eel uses its electrocytes, it's not just generating electricity for defensive or hunting purposes, it's also using electricity to see its surroundings in the dark. As it lives in murky, low-visibility waters, this adaptation helps it detect objects and prey, even when vision is limited. Hunting and feeding. Electric eels hunt by using a combination of electrolocation, low-voltage pulses, and high-voltage discharges to immobilize or kill prey. Their prey can include fish, often smaller fish that are shocked to be stunned or killed. Amphibians. Frogs, for example, are among the types of prey. Invertebrates. Smaller creatures like crustaceans can also fall victim to the eel's shocks. Once the prey is immobilized or stunned, the eel will consume it, typically by swallowing it whole. This hunting technique is highly efficient in the often dark waters they inhabit, where visibility is limited and their electric abilities give them an edge. Unique adaptations for survival. Electric eels don't just rely on their electric shocks to hunt or defend themselves, they also have several survival mechanisms. Oxygen absorption. Despite being aquatic creatures, electric eels need to surface for air approximately every 15 minutes, as they have a relatively low oxygen absorption rate through their gills. They have a highly vascularized mouth that allows them to gulp air from the surface to meet their oxygen demands. Specialized behavior. They are solitary animals and spend most of their lives alone, coming together only during the breeding season. They often reside in slow-moving waters where they can hide in the muddy bottom or near submerged structures like logs and rocks. Nocturnal hunting. As mentioned, electric eels are primarily nocturnal, hunting mostly at night when their electric discharges are more effective, and predators are less likely to be active. Research and technological impacts. Electric eels have inspired research in bioelectricity. The structure and functioning of their electric organs have led to innovations in fields like biomedical engineering, where scientists are looking into ways to mimic the electric eel's abilities for medical devices like defibrillators or even robotics. One example of electric eel-inspired technology is the development of energy harvesting devices. Researchers are trying to mimic the way electric eels use their electric organs to store and release energy. Their ability to generate such high voltages efficiently could lead to breakthroughs in the way we harness and store electrical energy. Electric eels in culture and mythology. In South American cultures, especially among indigenous peoples, electric eels have been part of myths and stories for centuries. In some tribes, the electric eel is seen as a powerful and mystical creature, capable of controlling lightning. These tales often paint the eel as a creature with divine attributes or even a connection to the gods, given its ability to produce lightning-like strikes. In more modern times, electric eels have also made their way into scientific and popular culture, inspiring everything from documentaries to superhero comics. Their awe-inspiring abilities make them a favorite subject in discussions of the animal kingdom's more unusual and remarkable adaptations. Fascinating facts. Shock duration. An electric eel can deliver a shock lasting anywhere from a fraction of a second to several seconds, depending on its purpose, from stunning prey to defending itself. Electric eel and other species. Electric eels are not the only creatures capable of generating electricity. Other species, like certain species of ray fin fish, electric rays, and knifefish also share this unique ability, though the electric eel is the most powerful known. Let's dive even deeper into the electric eel and some of its fascinating aspects. Electrogenesis and evolution. The ability of the electric eel to generate electricity is a form of electrogenesis, an evolutionary adaptation that has developed over millions of years. This form of energy production is believed to have evolved to aid the electric eel in hunting, communication, and self-defense in the low visibility, murky waters of the Amazon and Orinoco River basins. The evolutionary process that led to electrogenesis involves specialized structures in the electric organs that are highly adapted to generate and discharge electrical energy efficiently. Interestingly, the electric organs in electric eels are a modified part of their muscle tissue, which is a relatively rare phenomenon in nature. This organ is believed to have developed from ancestral muscle cells that became specialized for producing electrical discharges. How electric eels see in the dark. Electric eels use electrolocation to navigate their This process is akin to echolocation in bats and dolphins, where the animal uses emitted pulses to gather information about its environment. By sending out low-voltage, electrical pulses, the electric eel can detect objects, obstacles, and prey in the dark or muddy water. This ability is vital because their habitat is often low in light, and their electric fields help them visualize their low-voltage discharges are sent out constantly, almost like a radar signal. When these electrical pulses hit an object or a living creature, they cause a change in the return signal. The eel then uses these changes to form a mental map of its environment, allowing it to hunt even in complete darkness. This is a highly effective sensory adaptation in an environment where traditional sight would be of limited use due to poor water clarity. Electric eels and other species of electrogenic fish. While the electric eel is the most well-known and powerful example of electrogenic fish, other species also possess the ability to generate electricity. These include electric rays, torpedo fish. These marine creatures can generate electrical discharges, which they use for defense and hunting. Their shocks are much weaker than the electric eels, but still capable of stunning prey. Many species of knifefish, such as the black ghost knifefish, generate weak electric fields for navigation and communication, much like the electric eel. However, their electrical organs are typically much less developed than those of the electric eel. Elephant nose fish. These fish use weak electric fields to detect their environment in murky waters, much like the electric eel, but they don't have the same voltage-producing capabilities. These other species have evolved similar adaptations to help them navigate and survive in their environments, though none of them reach the impressive voltage levels of the electric eel. Hunting strategies. From stun to kill. Electric eels use a combination of low voltage and high voltage discharges to hunt, making them incredibly efficient predators. Here's a breakdown of their strategy. Electrolocation low voltage discharges. The eel sends out a series of low voltage electric pulses, which bounce back from nearby objects or prey. This helps the eel locate its target and assess its size, shape, and distance. High voltage shock stunning or killing prey. Once the eel is close enough to its prey, it delivers a much stronger shock, up to 600 volts, which is enough to stun or kill small fish and amphibians. The high voltage discharge is very effective in immobilizing prey, making it easier for the eel to consumption. After stunning or killing the prey, the electric eel swallows it whole. Its prey often includes smaller fish, amphibians, and occasionally invertebrates. The eel's digestive system then breaks down the prey. Aggression and defense. Electric eels are solitary creatures that can become highly defensive if they feel threatened. They use their high-voltage shocks as a defense mechanism. When approached or threatened by larger predators or perceived threats, the eel will discharge a series of high-voltage bursts to deter the threat. These electric bursts can cause significant pain to larger predators or intruders, and in some cases, they may even kill or incapacitate smaller animals that pose a threat. Despite their ability to defend themselves with electric shocks, electric eels are also vulnerable to certain predators. Larger aquatic creatures such as caimans, otters, and birds of prey have been known to hunt electric eels, though the eel's electric defenses make it a formidable opponent. Electric eel reproduction. Electric eels reproduce during the rainy season in their native habitats. During this time, male electric eels build a nest from a combination of saliva and debris, creating a structure where the female can lay her eggs. The male's nest-building efforts are part of the courtship behavior, and the female selects the most well-constructed nest for laying her eggs. Once the eggs are laid, the male fertilizes them and guards the nest. After hatching, the young eels are left to fend for themselves, but they remain dependent on the mother for a time. The young electric eels will begin to develop their electric abilities as they mature. Threats to electric eels. While electric eels are not currently classified as endangered, they face several threats. Habitat loss, deforestation and human activities, such as logging, farming and dam construction are causing habitat destruction in the rivers and streams where electric eels live. Pollution. Pollution in waterways can contaminate the eel's habitat, disrupting their food sources, and making it difficult for them to survive. Climate change. Changes in water temperatures and river flow patterns due to climate change could further affect electric eel populations and their ability to reproduce. Conservation efforts are needed to protect the habitats of electric eels and ensure that they continue to thrive in their natural environments. Fascinating facts. Electric shock frequency. An electric eel can discharge up to 1,000 volts in a single burst, although most discharges tend to be in the 300 to 600 volt range. This is enough to stun larger prey or potential predators. Tidal feeding. While not well documented, there are indications that electric eels may exhibit tidal feeding patterns related to water levels and prey availability. Cognitive abilities. Electric eels have been observed to use different voltage patterns in their discharges to communicate with each other, especially during mating season, suggesting some level of complex behavior. Advanced electric field and discharge patterns. Electric eels are incredibly skilled at modulating their electric discharges to serve different purposes. Researchers have identified that electric eels produce distinct patterns of electrical discharges, each serving a specific function. Low-frequency pulses. These are used for electrolocation, essentially seeing in the dark and detecting nearby objects, prey, or obstacles. These low-voltage pulses are typically around 10 to 50 Hz and are emitted in bursts. They help the eel navigate through its environment, especially in dark, murky waters where vision is limited. High-frequency pulses. When a prey item is detected, the eel often switches to a high-frequency high-voltage discharge, which can be up to 600 volts. These pulses are short, intense, and highly effective in immobilizing prey by disrupting its nervous system. The eel typically delivers a series of high-frequency discharges to ensure that the prey is immobilized. The double-barreled approach. Electric eels have been known to use a mix of both low and high-frequency pulses in quick succession to get a clearer picture of their surroundings, and also to stun their prey efficiently. This adaptation of switching between different electrical discharges is thought to help them conserve energy, while still being able to communicate or hunt effectively. Electrical organ evolution. The evolution of the electric organ in electric eels is a fascinating subject. The electrical organ is a specialized structure that consists of modified muscle cells. These muscle cells evolved into electrocytes, which are able to generate electric potentials by transferring ions across cell membranes in a highly controlled manner. This phenomenon of electrogenesis appears to be a result of millions of years of evolution. The electric organ itself is a highly modified set of muscles that have specialized functions. Over time, the electric organ became more efficient at producing electrical charges, enabling the electric eel to generate stronger shocks for hunting and defense. The evolutionary lineage of the electric eel's electrogenic abilities is linked to other electrogenic fish species. But the electric eel is unique in that it is capable of generating the highest voltage. Scientists continue to study the genetic makeup of electric eels to understand how this trait evolved and why it became so specialized in their lineage. Electrical energy production. A natural biobattery. The electric eel's ability to generate electricity isn't just a quirky adaptation. It's essentially a form of natural biobattery technology. The electrocytes within the eel's electrical organs act like batteries in series, stacking up the voltage. When the eel fires its electrical discharges, the electrocytes release their stored electrical energy all at once. This allows the eel to produce bursts of up to 600 volts, a truly impressive amount for an animal of its size. Because the eel uses electrical energy in bursts rather than continuously, it can conserve energy. This ability to store and release electrical energy is of great interest to scientists, who are studying how energy storage could be improved in human-made batteries or energy harvesting devices. Social behavior and communication. Electric eels are primarily solitary creatures, but there are some instances of social interactions, especially during the mating season. While electric eels don't live in schools like some fish species, they do communicate with one another using electrical discharges. They often exchange low-voltage pulses that are used for communication or establishing territory. This low-voltage signaling helps them avoid conflict and maintain social order in shared habitats. Mating communication. During the breeding season, males and females use their electrical pulses to attract mates. Males may even engage in electrical courtship displays, sending out patterns of low-voltage pulses that are thought to indicate their fitness as a mate. These electrical signals serve as a form of electrical dance, where the male demonstrates his strength and capability. Ecological role and predators. The electric eel plays an important role in the food web of its environment. As an apex predator, it is at the top of the food chain, feeding on smaller fish, amphibians, and invertebrates. However, it has natural predators that include caimans, large crocodilian reptiles, otters, and certain birds of prey. The eel's electric defense mechanism makes it difficult for these predators to catch and eat them. Defensive shocks. If threatened by a predator, an electric eel can deliver a series of electric discharges to ward off the intruder. The shock is so powerful that it can cause paralysis or even death in smaller creatures. This defense mechanism makes it difficult for animals to approach the electric eel without risking injury. Interestingly, though electric eels can deliver a powerful shock, larger predators like caimans are sometimes able to withstand the shock. Some research suggests that caimans may have developed resistance to the eel's shocks, allowing them to prey on the eel in certain circumstances. The role of electric eels in ecosystem health. Electric eels contribute to the health of their ecosystem by controlling the populations of smaller fish and invertebrates. Their hunting habits ensure that certain species do not dominate the environment, which helps maintain a balance in the ecosystem. By regulating populations of prey species, electric eels also help to ensure the overall health of the river or stream in which they reside. Their hunting activity affects the behavior of other species, shaping the aquatic community and ensuring that biodiversity is maintained. Ongoing research and technological applications. The electric eel's impressive ability to generate high-voltage discharges has inspired research into bioelectricity and biomimicry. Scientists are studying electric eels to understand how they can apply their principles in fields like energy harvesting and storage. Researchers are looking into how electric eels store and release electrical energy and how this can be applied to improve battery technology. Some researchers have even proposed bio-inspired eels that could generate electricity for low-power devices, such as sensors, using principles similar to the electric eels. Medical applications. The electric eel's ability to generate controlled electric discharges could have medical applications, Particularly in the field of bioelectromagnetism, electric eels use electrical energy to interact with their environment, and understanding their mechanisms could help improve technologies like pacemakers, defibrillators, and other bioelectrical devices. Robotics. Engineers are exploring how the electric eel's electrical discharges can inspire soft robotics that mimic the eel's movements and electrical abilities. In particular, soft robots can be designed to navigate environments in ways that traditional hard robots cannot, and electric eel-like robots could be used for underwater exploration or environmental monitoring. Fascinating facts continued. Electroreception in other animals. In addition to electric eels, other creatures, such as sharks, rays, and certain species of catfish, have electroreception abilities. These animals can sense the electric fields produced by other living creatures, allowing them to detect prey or navigate through their environment. Dual use of electric organs. Electric eels use their electrical organs not only for hunting and communication but also for self-defense. The ability to generate such powerful shocks allows the eel to protect itself from larger, potentially dangerous predators. Temperature and voltage production. Electric eels. Electric production can be affected by environmental conditions, like water temperature. Colder temperatures may reduce the eel's ability to generate maximum voltage, while warmer temperatures could enhance its electrical output. Certainly, let's explore even further into the world of the electric eel, diving into the impact of their electric abilities on the environment. Some fascinating studies, and how they influence our understanding of electricity in nature. The electric eel's unique electrical mechanism. The electric eel is often described as a living battery, but the science behind how it generates electricity is far more complex and unique compared to man-made batteries. Cellular structure of electrocytes. The cells within the electric eel's electric organs electrocytes are modified muscle cells, and their role is quite different from regular muscle cells. In a normal muscle cell, ions-charged particles are moved across the cell membrane to cause muscle contractions. However, in electrocytes the same process is used to generate electrical charge. The electrocytes are stacked in series, which increases the voltage. When these cells discharge at the same time, the voltage sums up, resulting in the high voltage shock that the electric eel can produce. Discharge process. The electric eel's nervous system sends signals to the electrocytes, causing them to rapidly move ions across the membrane, creating a difference in charge between the inside and outside of the cells. This difference in charge generates a small voltage. When these cells are activated in unison, their individual voltages add up, and the result is a powerful electric shock. The eel can control the timing and intensity of these discharges with high precision. Voltage control. The electric eel's ability to control the frequency, intensity, and duration of its electric discharges is a remarkable adaptation. It can deliver a brief high-voltage shock to stun prey or defend itself. Or it can use lower voltage pulses for longer periods for navigation and communication. It's as though the electric eel has evolved to use voltage modulation, which is rare in the animal kingdom. The role of electric eels in ecosystem dynamics. Electric eels are crucial to their environment in ways that go beyond simply being predators. Their high-voltage electrical discharges influence not just their prey, but the ecosystem at large. Controlling prey populations. By stunning or killing smaller fish, amphibians, and invertebrates, electric eels regulate prey populations. This ensures that no one species dominates the ecosystem, and that a balanced food web is maintained. For example, electric eels help prevent an overpopulation of certain smaller fish species that could otherwise exhaust local resources or disrupt the ecosystem balance. Impact on other species. The presence of electric eels in their environment has a cascading effect on the behavior of other species. The high-voltage shocks that eels deliver deter many predators from approaching, which may allow smaller species to thrive in areas where they would otherwise be vulnerable. This creates a more diverse community in the riverbed where the eel resides. The eel's role as both predator and defense mechanism helps ensure that the ecosystem remains stable. Altered behavior of prey species. The way prey species interact with their environment can change when electric eels are present. Fish that are sensitive to electrical fields may become more cautious and more adept at detecting predators. In some cases, prey species may modify their behaviors to avoid electric eels, altering the way the food chain operates. Competition with other apex predators. While electric eels are apex predators in their environment, they face competition with other large predators, such as caimans. However, the eel's electrical abilities allow it to hold its own, and in some cases, the eel may actively avoid larger predators that could pose a threat. This balance between predator and prey ensures that the electric eel's ecological role remains significant. Electric eel studies and research innovations. Electric eels continue to be a subject of intense study, and much of this research focuses on their electrical abilities. Scientists and engineers have sought to understand how the electric eel's physiology can inspire advances in technology. Bio-inspired electrical systems. Researchers have studied the structure of electric eel electrocytes to better understand how biological systems can generate and store electrical energy. Some researchers believe that electric eel-inspired technologies could lead to more efficient energy storage devices, such as bio-batteries. This could potentially lead to more sustainable ways of generating and storing power using biological principles rather than traditional chemical batteries. Bioelectric robotics. The study of electric eels has also influenced the development of bioelectric robots, particularly soft robots. These robots, inspired by the eel's ability to generate and discharge electricity, are designed to navigate and function in aquatic environments. By mimicking the eel's electrical abilities, these robots could have applications in underwater exploration, environmental monitoring, and even medical devices, particularly for navigating challenging environments like deep sea or polluted waters. Electromagnetic field studies. The electric eel's electrical output has been extensively studied to understand how its electromagnetic fields work. The way the eel uses electrical signals to communicate and navigate gives scientists insight into electromagnetic navigation. Researchers are trying to develop systems that can use similar principles to locate objects underwater or to monitor underwater conditions without relying on traditional sonar systems, which can be disrupted by murky water or noise pollution. Energy harvesting from eels. The potential to harvest small amounts of energy from electric eels is also an area of exploration. Some researchers have considered creating biomimetic devices that mimic the eel's ability to generate electricity, using bioelectric processes to power small sensors or monitoring equipment in remote locations, where traditional power sources are unavailable. The idea of using electric eel-like biobatteries could lead to new methods of powering medical devices, wearable technology, and environmental sensors. Electric eels and human interaction. Humans have been fascinated by electric eels for centuries, and their presence in folklore and scientific studies has made them a subject of intrigue. Historically, electric eels were seen as mystical or divine creatures in various South American indigenous cultures, and they were believed to possess healing or supernatural powers due to their electric abilities. Today, electric eels still capture human imagination. Their use in education and scientific research continues to grow, as they offer a living example of how nature can use electricity in ways that have practical applications in medicine, energy storage, and even robotics. Traditional uses in folklore. In many Amazonian cultures, electric eels have been thought of as magical or divine creatures, with some tribes associating them with thunder or lightning gods. They've often been seen as symbols of power, and in some places, people believe that their shocks could be used for healing purposes, particularly for pain relief or muscle spasms. However, these beliefs often stem from a lack of understanding of the true biological functions of the electric eel. Electric eels, in scientific research. Modern research on electric eels has not only focused on their natural biology, but also on how humans can learn from them to create more sustainable technologies. The bioelectricity generated by electric eels is being analyzed to determine how energy-efficient systems could be developed, potentially revolutionizing energy storage or even leading to advancements in medical technologies. In conclusion, electric eels are much more than simply creatures with a powerful shock. They are a complex, vital part of the ecosystems they inhabit, influencing both the food web and the environment. Their unique biological features, including their extraordinary electrical abilities, continue to inspire innovation across fields such as biomimicry, energy research, and robotics.